This program is presented by Infinite Reality, powering the ultimate fan experience in the metaverse.
Welcome to Cardiff, and the British Speedway Grand Prix is the biggest speedway event on the calendar. It's the one that they all want to win. The fans absolutely love it. So who can manage the pressure, the level of noise, the cauldron that is the Principality Stadium? And in the last few days, this stadium has been transformed. 180 lorry loads of material has been laid down, turning this iconic venue into a speedway fortress. It's round 8 of the Grand Prix series, and we're in the capital of Wales. And we're back with our 4-time world champion, Mr. Hancock. Greg, great to have you back.
Thank you. It's great to be back, and especially in this epic stadium here, which holds more than one great memory for me.
Yeah, we'll talk about those. But the energy inside this stadium is really quite something else. It's a tangible level of excitement and anticipation. What makes it so special?
You know, it's Cardiff. We always say that, you know, but this place brings out all the true Speedway fans around the world. They don't just come here to cheer on the British riders. They cheer for every rider here, because a lot of riders have ridden in the leagues, over the years, and they just show up, they make noise. This track is special. It's exciting. The Welsh national anthem. How much time do we have?
It is a lot of noise. Now, you mentioned that you've got some good memories here. It's 3 memories of standing on the top step of the podium. So what was it about this track?
Wow, everything, you know, again, it starts with the national anthem. That Welsh national anthem is special, but this track is so special. It looks quite big on TV, but it's quite narrow. You've got really fast racing lines. It gets tight when you're doing 80 miles an hour into the corner, and the track needs to cut up a little bit to make this place exciting. You don't want it to be crazy, you know, maybe like last year, but having some grooves and ruts like that makes it that much more exciting as a rider, let alone for the fans.
And we had the riders led by Chris Morton, and they were raising awareness for the Speedway Riders Benevolent Fund. They rode from the Bellevue, the National Speedway Stadium, right the way down to Principality Stadium, arrived here at 11:30 this morning, and such an important cause, Greg.
It's a great cause. I've been on the receiving end of a couple of payments from them over the years, and especially when you're younger and you're really trying to make ends meet and you're struggling, you're injured, but getting a little check to help out every couple of months was really, really helpful. So a fantastic cause, and hats off to Chris.
Absolutely. Well, every rider's dream is to race around this track, and we asked Scotty Nichols if he would spin a few laps for us, and trust me, he did not need asking twice.
So it's pretty cool. I get to do a few laps around one of the premier stadiums in the world. Of course, it's Cardiff. Go do a few laps and try and talk you through it. Let's go.
I'm going to try to start from the inside. It looks nice and moist down here. Looks like it should be a good amount of grip. Okay, here we go. Right, I'm going to expect a reaction from the start, so... Oh, my breath, my weight's going to be over the front. Looking down the make what the riders may have to contend with at the start. These ruts are really quite deep. My bike is ground out. I'm actually going nowhere. If the camera's on my back wheel, I'm going nowhere. Look at that right there. That's where my exhaust is ground out. So these boys may well have some problems on the start line. For a small track, it rides really fast. The dirt line on the outside that I'm pointing to now that you're looking at works really well. And this bit, watch out for this down the back straight. Right here I'm pointing. That dirt that builds up on the fence, the riders will use that to gain extra speed on the entry into the corner, especially the likes of Bartos, etc., etc. So look out for that. Whew. Well, that was fun. Got a bit of a sweat on, that's for sure, but you know what, that is actually a really cool track. The track is prepared really well. No question you guys are going to be entertained to a great night's racing. Lots of racing lines. I'm going to get my breath back, go back with Mike and get back in the pits.
He didn't look like he enjoyed that, Greg.
No, not at all. And I'm slightly jealous, like very jealous, in fact.
Hugely jealous. Look, so much love and attention has gone into this track. How's it looking now?
You know what, it looks really good. You can tell right away from last year, even walking up here, the moisture that's in it. It's packed really hard. And you saw on the riding lines yesterday, I mean, they put a lot of love into this, as you said, and the track didn't cut up. You did start to see the wear points going into the corners where when it's narrow, it gets tight. You get these like marks, you know, these areas where you peel it into the corner, you make a turn and you peel it out of the corner. And those are the two spots where these ruts tend to appear, but that's part of Cardiff. That's what makes the racing that much more exciting. They get like a 10-mile-an-hour hit into the corner when you're not ready for it, but it makes it so much better. And one more thing is, like, you have natural rear view mirrors here. You've got big TV screens at the end of both straightaways. And for me as a rider, obviously if you're in front especially, you could utilize looking at those down the straightaways, taking a little side-eye peek to see where the guys are. If the crowd roared, you want to see if someone's coming around you. So for me, these are iconic times.
I can't believe that you have the time to do that with everything else that goes on. That is quite some feat. But no offense, Greg, I'm going to leave you for a moment.
Oh, okay,
Sorry, thanks for bye. Because we are joined by another special guest. Two-time World Superbike champion James Toseland. James, good to see you here. Looking dapper, sir.
Thank you. Make an effort for this. This is amazing.
It is amazing. Now, you know what it's like to compete at the highest level on the world stage with World Superbikes, MotoGP, of course, as well. How much respect do you have for these Speedway riders?
Well, you're talking about how much detail's gone into the dirt. We need to get tarmac in here and build a superbike track in this arena. It's just incredible, isn't it? I mean, I had a little bit at Brands Hatch with that amphitheatre down the start and finish straight, but I've never been to the Speedway Grand Prix before in Cardiff, and it's just incredible. The atmosphere and the noise. Not much pressure on those three British riders, is there?
I know. And I think it is, like you say, the fact that it is an amphitheatre just adds to it, because you feel that the fans are so close by.
It's just, there's nothing like it. In motorcycling, like I say, it's my first time here, and Scott Nichols just took me around the track on a track walk, and I'm walking around this place, and, you know, 60,000 people all looking on you on this racetrack with only 4 of you on the grid, and you've got to get it done. Yeah. The pressure is just immense. You can feel it on every part of the track as well. Yeah. Like on most of the superbike tracks, you can go out into the forest a bit and get a bit of quiet before you come back into the grandstands. But this is just the same all the way around.
It separates the good from the great in this sport. Now, you'll be out in Manicourt next weekend for the World Superbikes. It's round 9. What can we look forward to?
Well, there's only 74 points in the championship between Top Rat and Bautista. Bautista's had a record amount of wins, but Top Rat's kept him really honest because of all the podiums. Over 200 points still left up for grabs in the championship, and it's on. He's still got a chance.
Well, enjoy this evening, lap up the atmosphere. Hope to see you later on. We're going to turn our attention to the British riders now, starting with Robert Lambert. You feel he's on the cusp of his first victory in the Grand Prix series. What an occasion it would be if he could do it here in Cardiff. Well, ahead of the weekend, we spoke to Robert and his girlfriend, Julia.
100%, it's been a better season for me, like consistently. We've made a few changes with what I'm thinking and what I'm doing at the start, and it seems to be working moving forwards now. The ambition is obviously to stay in the Grand Prix for next year, but the main goal for the beginning of the season was to get a medal, so we're still pushing for that.
I think maybe we can do a few close-ups with like logos and that. I'm trying to make everything easier and as good as possible for him to be comfortable, to have the space, to be able to perform at his highest level. I'm running around basically.
No. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I feel very comfortable having Julia around, but also at the same time, she knows that if I tell her to go away in certain situations, you know, she doesn't take it to heart.
I know sometimes it's better for me to just stay away. I know when I can go in and when it's better to keep the distance.
I'm very, very lucky to have someone who support me in that kind of way and who are stuck by me. It's a hard, you know, relationship to be with a sports person, but you know, there's definitely a lot of benefits from it. But there's a lot of hard work and sacrifices you need to make to keep everything on the right track.
My dream is to see him on the top of a podium.
Definitely to be a world champion. That's the big dream, and you know, to be there together would be even more special. And we keep working on it hard to get to that where we want to be.
Yeah, it certainly is a huge night for Robert Lambert, along with all the other boys. I mean, Cardiff is spoken about it so much, the kind of the pinnacle of the sport. Dan Bewley there, the Brit who won last year, so he's going to be up for gunning for that again. But I love this bit of the Grand Prix. It's almost like the calm before the storm, and the boys are getting themselves prepped, getting them in their zone. Any little race preps they want to do or any little rituals, they're all going to be happening right now. But another Brit who would love to do well here is Ty Woodford. And Ty, how special is this British Grand Prix?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's by far the best one on the calendar, especially being a British rider. And it's nice to have the whole build-up to the event, you know, the Monster Energy rig riot and in the fan zone, and really, you know, get the atmosphere building and try to soak that all in and use it on the track.
Yeah, you just said that you was down at the rig, Monster rig party and stuff like that. How much does that kind of spur you on, and how much does that change your approach to the evening when you've got all those things going on?
It's good. It's for me. It kind of like the rig riot kind of like sets me up for the night. We pretty much do on every Grand Prix anyway. So when we're not doing that, then you have to kind of like get yourself in the zone a little bit more. But you know, them energy levels are just crazy when we do that. And I actually posted something on my Instagram earlier. So if people haven't been there, go check it out. Definitely. You've been so close here before, Ty. You've hit some brilliant form. Can tonight be the night where you stand that top step? That's what we're here for. Certainly is. Well, I hope you do, mate. Go well. Thank you. Back to you, Abby.
Scotty, thank you. It's unbelievable, really, that Ty hasn't won here, but his form is rejuvenated. He's riding with a smile on his face. It could be this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think him coming back to the UK recently and taking on a stint here has kind of boosted his morale, his inspiration, and he seems really motivated. So it might just be what he needed to kind of get that kickstart to get back in the game, you know?
Yeah, and we've been seeing him around the British circuits, obviously. And his family were at Wolverhampton on Monday, and he just seems really relaxed. And maybe just reducing that pressure has also helped.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody knows Ty's like he's got so much going on all the time, but that's maybe I wouldn't want to do that much, but at the same time, that's what feeds him. Seeing him kind of find his form and just kind of tone it down a little bit is fantastic. So eyes have to be on the prize, right?
Eyes on the prize, and it will certainly be the case for Robert Lambert. Now, he actually hasn't got a great record here, but he's been riding so consistently this year. He was fast in qualifying yesterday as well.
Yeah, he looks great. I mean, he looks solid right now, and you know, maybe he's been getting overshadowed a little bit by the Dan Bewley scenario, but these two guys are really pushing each other, and Rob right now wants to be the top Brit. He's more than capable of winning this thing tonight, so let's see what happens.
And Dan Bewley, obviously, he comes here as one of the fans' favourite. Could he join Jason Crump and go down in history and be the next rider to get back-to-back victories here in Cardiff?
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, I mean, like I said, there's so much talk about Dan Bewley, and we can talk about him for days because the guy is special. He's amazing, and he just makes it look so easy and finesse, and he's like effortless, you know. So he very easily could win this thing back-to-back, and he could go on and win it 3 times if he wants to.
Yeah, he's got that sort of attitude, hasn't he? Well, let's hear from our favourite laid-back Cumbrian now. He spoke to Greg earlier.
I'm lucky to be here actually with last year's winner, Dan Bewley. Being outside this amazing place, you had an amazing final in 2022.
It's just one of those nights, you know, I'm sure you've had plenty of them where you feel like it's working, and I just knew coming into gate 2, like, oh, I almost felt like I made it, so before we even got there, so I just packed the rut and, well, we made it, so that's it.
Well, rumor has it too that you were quite confident about whether they graded the track or not graded the track before the final.
I just decided I hated it, whatever it was, and we're just going to get on with the job. So as far as I was concerned, it was never getting any nicer, so we'll just have some fun on the rough stuff.
I felt like I saw like a different Dan Bewley after you won that final. Did you step out of your comfort box and let loose?
Not even crossing the line. I think from the second lap onwards, you kind of have that feeling that, you know, I can't really miss now, just don't throw it away. So yeah, there was a bit going on. I think I had a KK head nod, a bit of KK chicken wing, bomber chicken wing, and I even give it a burnout. So yeah, it's not every day I do those, but then again, it's not every day you win Cardiff. So
we're moving into 2023. How are you setting everything up for this one?
I actually feel like I'm riding a lot better this year, and I feel like my starts are better. I feel like I'm riding the bike better, and I actually feel like I belong here this year. So
it's not a cocky statement, but it was a real classic Dan statement, is that every time I make the final, I win.
Yeah, you know, that is true, but you know, free from free. But at the same time, when I look back at this year, you know, I'd be in a much better position in the points if I could have got a couple of seconds and third places in the final. So probably a few seconds, or even just making the final, that would be good too. So you know, it's hard to win them all. So if we can just get a bit better on our days when we don't win, I think that'd be quite beneficial. Thank you.
A nice moment there with fans coming up to him. He still feels like that's a surprise for him, yet he's just such an incredible rider.
He does, and like Greg said, he just takes it all in his stride. He's, you said the laid-back Cumberland, he is. He's just, I'm here to race a bike, but 3 finals, 3 wins. I mean, man alive, doesn't get better than that, does it?
And how was he? Could you sense that it's a facade? It doesn't feel like it, does it? But did you sense any nerves?
I don't sense any nerves with him ever. You know, it's like almost you want to put him up to a challenge to try to make him nervous, but he just looks at it and goes, I never thought about that.
This is a pretty big challenge, Greg.
This is kind of a big challenge, right? Yeah, I know. No, he's amazing. The guy. Amazing. Yeah, I don't even know. You know, we don't have enough time to sit and talk about him, but he looks for so many opportunities. There's never a problem, and he wants to see how wide he can go. He wants to see what there's left.
Well, Jack Holder is back this weekend. It's the first time he's come back since that big crash at the Speedway World Cup final, and Scott caught up with him.
Yeah, well, Cardiff's a big night for everybody, in particular this man. Jack, coming back from that nasty injury, how was it holding up in practice?
Yeah, not too bad. It was, you know, I'm still in a lot of pain. I don't really have much movement, but, you know, it's Cardiff. This is what we all want, so I've got to hopefully put up with the pain.
You've had one taste of Cardiff, but obviously you would have come here like so many as a fan. How cool is it to be out there racing?
Yeah, mate, it's awesome. You know, you can't describe the feeling of the fans and just the whole event, you know, doing the signings and everyone in the street. Yeah, you know, it's awesome, and hopefully I can put on a good show and put up with the pain.
Mate, you look good in practice. Obviously being from Australia, is this kind of almost like a home Grand Prix for you?
Yeah, you could say that. It's always good. You know, we live in England, the Aussie boys, most of us anyway, and race in the UK. So as close as it gets for a home one for me.
Well, let's hope the pain holds up, mate. Go well tonight.
No worries. Thank you.
It is brilliant to see him back, and he was super fast yesterday in qualifying, Greg, but this is a different beast tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, and I mean, he's nursing that wrist too, so it's going to be tough for him. But for him, you know, this is it's all adrenaline, pure adrenaline, and he wants to get back in the game.
And you can't rule Bartosz Marslik out.
Oh God, no, he's over our shoulder, isn't he? It's like any Grand Prix, you can put him on any track. I mean, some people are specialists, but that man, he just excels everywhere.
We've got 10 seconds, Greg, okay? Who do you think is going to be on the top step of the podium?
Only 10 seconds? Only 10 seconds? All right, we'll go Bewley, we'll go Lambert.
It's a Speedway.
Marslik.
Outfitted, and it's up next. Bye, Greg.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Principality Stadium here in Cardiff. It's round number 8 of the SGP World Speedway Championship. A delight to be here. We're looking down on the stadium, the River Taff alongside. The roof is closed. Fabulous atmosphere in the stadium. Not too far away from racing getting underway. But before we got that, let's take a look at the laser show.
FIM Speedway Grand Prix!
Ladies and gentlemen, gather around. Here in the heart of Cardiff, we celebrate the centenary of Speedway.
There we go then, always something a little bit different and special here in the Principality Stadium. And 2023 is no different. Super crowd in. Atmosphere is just electric here. We have the president of the FIM coming out now to bring forward the SGP World Speedway Championship trophy. It's what the riders are all chasing. Riders are out there. Here he comes now, Jorge. Great to see the top man here in the Principality Stadium in Cardiff. Bartosz Marzlik possibly has one hand on that already, but nonetheless, mathematically, Freddie Lindgren can still hunt him down. Freddie, of course, fastest in practice yesterday, looked very impressive indeed. But Jorge Viegas in town. So it's in position, that's what they're all chasing. And Bartosz Marzlik holds that trophy right now as the current world championship leader. So there's the stadium itself. We've been coming here since 2001. It really is the 21st time that we are staging the Grand Prix here in Cardiff. We'll take you through the lineup very shortly for you. We've got 2 young British riders here as reserves. I'm sure they're very excited indeed. And we'll be drinking this all in. These are the nerves before the action get underway. So Jason Edwards will wear the number 18 race jacket for this evening. He'll be hoping he can get a ride, but he's recently signed for the Sheffield Tigers.
Yeah, Anders Rowe, what an experience this is going to be for this young man, riding great in the UK, put in some decent laps yesterday in qualifying.
Yeah, he was impressive indeed. Next up, We've got Stevie Worrell coming forward. He did really well in practice yesterday. I must say that he held his own and produced a really strong time late on in the qualifying. And I know that Steve is very excited about performing here this evening. Andrei Lebedev's coming in here as an injury replacement for Anders Thompson, the Latvian, getting a run in the Grand Prix at the moment.
His first time in Cardiff, but no stranger to South Wales.
Yeah, next up, Kim Nielsen. Had a tough Grand Prix series so far, did very well in qualifying yesterday. Sort of track that I think will suit him tonight.
Yeah, you predicted that, and he delivered. He looked very accomplished out there. Looking forward to a big night. Mikael Mikkelsen has had a tough campaign, and he'll be looking to turn that around because his Grand Prix future is on the line with 3 rounds, including tonight, remaining.
Maciej Janowski, been a disappointment so far this season, but took the Speedway World Cup in that last heat, exciting heat in Wrocław.
Indeed he did. Needs to put in a big performance here. He's won here before. Patrick Dudek on the rostrum last year. Another rider that's had a disappointing campaign, but on his night can produce the goods. Looking for a great return tonight.
Max Frick can be quick on tracks like this. You just never know what you're going to get from Max. Got inconsistency has been his problem, but when he's fast, he's super fast.
Agreed with that. Max Frick is a very accomplished rider. Now Ty Woofenden, fan favourite. What a reception. Finished 3 times, second place here. Desperately wants to win here in the Principality. Hasn't done it. Bewley did it last year. Can Woofenden do it here this evening? He's riding really well. Made the final 3 weeks ago in Latvia.
British rider Robert Lambert, he's on the cusp of a win, you do feel, and what a night it would be if he could do that this evening in the Principality Stadium.
Fast in practice yesterday, Lambert looking very good indeed. Next up, Leon Madsen was very fast as well yesterday, and conditions certainly suited him, the world number 2. Looking for a big performance, won here back in 2019, of course.
Dan Bewley, well, the man did it here last year in Cardiff. Can he do it again? Only Jason Crump has done back-to-back victories here in Cardiff.
Bewley was outstanding last year, looking good. Jack Holder, great to see him back after that nasty broken wrist that he's had. He sort of went through the pain barrier yesterday. He's going to have to do that again tonight. He's down in 5th place right now.
Jason Doyle, first 5 rounds, he made 4 finals, hasn't had all the luck this year with refereeing decisions, but he would love a victory here.
He'll be up for it, there's no question about that. He'll be hard charging as always. Martin Vaclik, what a series he's enjoying. He's in 3rd place in the World Championship. Rock solid, had a win in Prague, of course. He was 2nd in Manila. Looking good this season, Martin Vaclik.
Next up, Fredrik Lindgren, 2nd in Riga, great night for him there, and 2nd in the series, topped qualifying yesterday.
Yeah, it was very quick indeed, fast Freddie Lindgren, living up to his nickname, but the main man at the moment, of course, Bartosz Zmarzlik. Next up, the reigning world champion, the championship leader, 22 points out in front. What a season he's had. He's had 4 wins already. Can he make it 5 here tonight? Would not put it past him. Fabulous. Right, we'll take a pause now. Firstly, we will listen to the national anthem of Great Britain. It will then be closely followed by the national anthem of Wales.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please remain standing for Anthem Gened Laethol Cymru, the national anthem of
fabulously performed by the Cardiff Farms Park Male Choir. Really was stirring stuff. Brilliant stuff from them. Congratulations, a great way to start the evening off. We'll have a gathering now for a picture with the riders and the president of the FIM, Jorge Villegas, on the rostrum there. Prior to riders moving back to the pit area where they'll prepare themselves for the opening race of the evening.
Coming up, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, how about a spark of inspiration? Oops! Let's get this thing rolling. Ta-da! Try that on for size. Yeah! Level up in Forge of Empires. Play now for free at FOE.tv or download the app.
The Bennett's British Superbike Championship heads to Cheshire's Alton Park on the 15th to the 17th of September as the title showdown intensifies. Top riders Tommy Bridewell, Glenn Irwin, Josh Brooks and more will be gunning for victories, with one race on Saturday and two on Sunday alongside a busy support programme. Weekend tickets are just £45 online in advance with free entry for under 13s. Book now at altonpark.co.uk.
With O2, get a big deal. Save up to £500 on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Now from under £55 a month. Plus, claim your pair of Galaxy Buds 2 Pro for just £1. O2, see what you can do.
Martin Vashlik just preparing himself for his opening ride, as all the riders are right now. It's nervous times now for riders, just building up for their first race. We'll take a closer look at this track in the Principality. It came in earlier this week. It takes 3 days to lay. Take us through a lap of the Principality Stadium, Chris.
Yeah, I'm fortunate enough to have ridden here in 2001 and 2004, and it is absolutely fabulous track. It's a one-off, obviously. It can cut up. It's in perfect condition right now, so I don't think we're going to see too many ruts and bumps, and the lads will be confident that they can go out, make racing lines all over it. It's great fun.
Certainly yesterday in practice it looked terrific indeed, and you could see the confidence growing as every session went through. The stadium was built in 1999 where it hosted the Rugby World Cup. First time we came here was in 2001 for Speedway. 272 metres, as you say. It's 10 metres wide on the straight, a couple of degrees of banking. That's pretty much standard for FIM tracks. A little narrower in the corners than we have seen on other tracks, 14 metres wide, 4% of banking. Both corners are pretty much identical, as are the straights. Ollie Olsen putting the track in. And as I say, the test event on Wednesday of this week went away without any problems at all. Qualifying yesterday was absolutely superb, and I must say that glowing reports from all riders when I was wandering through the pits. There's the stats for you. As I say, stadium basks in sunshine. 5 o'clock start here in Britain, 6 o'clock of course on the continent. Jason Doyle looking for a big night. Home from him. He spends a lot of time in the UK, lives in Norwich. Riders just preparing themselves for the opening race. Now you've experienced this. What's it like, Chris, building up to your first race here in the Principality?
It's like nothing else. You sit down at the top of the concrete ramp, ready to come out, and yeah, it's an experience that you just don't feel anywhere else. Obviously, this group of riders now have got the Narodovi in Warsaw and 50,000 fans there, so they've got something to compare it to. But for some reason, from fans, riders, everybody, this is the big one. This is the special one.
Steve Worrell is coming out in heat number 1, and he will be feeling it. He'll be quite excited about the prospect of riding here in the Principality. He was delighted to have finished second in the British Championship behind Dan Bewley. And coming through in flying colours, there's the past winners here in Cardiff. Greg Hancock. Greg Hancock's won it 3 times, Chris Holder twice, Saifutinov back in 13, Hancock again in 14. And then the last winner, of course, Dan Bewley, Leon Madsen in 2019. A break for Cardiff. Covid. Bartosz Szmarzyk back in 2018. Antonio Lindback and Niels Christian Evensen, surprise winners actually in 15 and 16, but nonetheless rode out of their skins those particular evenings. But Jason Crump and Greg Hancock, the only riders to have won here 3 times in the past.
That list there just shows you how tough it is to win. You know, there's only Greg Hancock in those last 10 years has actually managed to win it more than once.
I think it's probably a good thing for Steve Worrell coming out in the first race. He hasn't got to wait too long. He can get his first race out of the way because he will be feeling nervous. It's human. They all are. This is a massive stage, huge occasion. The points are the same for every Grand Prix, but there's no doubt that there is something extra special about racing here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Steve will be he will be now witnessing something that he's not felt going out racing a speedway bike before. You're always aware of the crowd, but here you can actually hear them. You know, the fans are almost on top of the track, and you can definitely hear, you know, when something happens as an overtake, the whole noise level just goes up.
Had a brand new engine for practice yesterday. Qualifying went pretty well, finished 7th. Good effort from him, right on the pace. There was literally nothing to choose between the top 10. Leon Madsen electing to take the #1 draw, where he'll get a freshly prepared track every time he comes out, but he will have 2 inside gates. Historically, the inside gate has been the best, 142 race wins since we came here, closely followed by gate #2, which was a popular choice by the better qualifiers yesterday. They do go, most of them went for 2 gate 2, so we'll see how that transpires throughout the evening. Ruts can be a problem on the start line as the evening progresses. It digs up on the temporary tracks. But what a moment it is for Stevie Worrell there in the blue helmet colour. I'm sure he'll be delighted to get off to a fast start. Inside gate in red then is Leon Madsen. Gate #2 in blue is Steve Worrell. Gate #3 in white is Max Frick from Australia, and Andre Lebedev's off the outside in yellow helmet colour. These boys will be keen to get on with it now.
Yeah, they will. And Leon Madsen, I think he will have been surprised to have been left draw #1 with his pick, and he'll be very happy with it because, as you say, he comes out on a freshly prepared track, but he can make the bike work around the inside, so it'll suit him.
Yep, he looked pretty good yesterday. Here we go then, first race of the evening in the Principality. Brilliant atmosphere, tapes are up, we're underway. Madsen makes it off the inside, it's tight. Worrell's gone down, red lights are on. Paweł Slupski is our referee from Poland. Not quite the way the wild card wanted to start his night on his backside, but it was a tight first turn, no quarter given. I fancy it would be all 4 back.
Yeah, could be. He just spun the bike around, but actually looking at all 4 riders, they all turned the bike a little bit hard. I think they were expecting maybe just a little bit more grip in that first turn than they experienced.
Adrenaline was pumping through the veins. Let's see it again.
Yeah, he makes a reasonably good jump.
It just got clipped there.
Squeeze him going in the corner, he gets clipped, goes down. I mean, it should be all 4 back.
I can't see anything different. I'll tell you what, Lebedev's have done a pretty good job from the outside as well, haven't they?
Yeah, great. It's very difficult here at Cardiff in the opening heats to come from the outside. It's that little bit extra distance that you've got to cover, but yeah, he got there across Steve Worrell, across Max Frick, and yeah, unfortunately, it just goes down there.
It's confirmed, all 4 will be back. All 4 riders will be back in the rerun. It was an untidy first corner, first race of the night. Big, long presentation, nerves jangling. Riders desperate to get on with it. Water went down pretty late, so it looks a little greasy, and I think possibly that's why riders were caught out as they charged into the first corner.
2 minutes, okay, guys?
2 minutes is on for the riders to make their way back round to the tapes.
And we saw it yesterday in qualifying when the heavier water went down on the second track grade. The track did actually go slower for a bit. They couldn't find any traction. And then it was the 3rd track grade when they brought the dirt back over that slightly damp surface, damp dirt, and the track went very, very quick.
Expected to be all round the inside initially. The track will evolve, and then you'll see riders beginning to search for different racing lines. That's normally the case here in the Principality. The track was tough last year, broke up a bit, and it really did test the riders, but so far this week the track has behaved impeccably. As I say, after practice yesterday, walking through the pits, there was a a sense of confidence and excitement about the prospect of the Grand Prix tonight. So I do believe we're going to be in for something pretty special here this evening. Lebedev's got away really nicely first time. He's got to reproduce that. Starts, they do dig up quite quickly on the temperate track, so you have to be cautious, particularly after 2 groups of races. Don't want to beach out. We saw that in Riga where the start line cut up quite badly, and Jason Doyle certainly had a moment where the bike just didn't go anywhere off of gate number 4 late on in the evening. So Leon Madsen just getting himself prepared, as the other 3 are as well. They'll come forward very shortly. Pavel Slupski, our referee. 22 seconds left for riders to actually be prepared to go. That is an FIM regulation. You've got to be there ready to go. They're all up in tapes, all in time. Second time of asking then. It's Madsen, it's Worrell, it's Frick and it's Lebedevs. Here we go then. Green light comes on now. Tapes are up, we're underway. Madsen again has made a good start. Lebedevs off the outside. Oh, Worrell's got caught up there. Oh, it's tight coming out with Frick coming into the action. And look at Lebedevs. Oh my goodness, how on earth did he not clean up Madsen? Now Worrell coming back into it. What an opening lap of Speedway in the Principality that was. Incredible stuff. Now Frick back into 3rd place. Brutal Speedway in the first race of the evening.
Certainly the very first heat of the night, and well, you can't take your eyes off it. It's happening absolutely everywhere. Race now seems to be settling down. Conditions may be catching everybody out on that opening lap as they just settle down into the race, but Leon Madsen making the most of the inside gate. But Lebedevs, how strong was he on that opening lap?
Well, he's a full of a man, you don't want to mess with him, and he certainly forced his way through into 2nd place beautifully down the back straight for the last time in the opening race of the night. And Leon Madsen will get his evening off to the perfect start. 3 points for him. Chuffed to bits with that. Lebedev's coming roaring from the outside. I tell you what, it was action-packed. I couldn't take your eyes off him that first lap. I don't really know how Lebedevs didn't collect Madsen on the opening lap going into turn number 3. It was so tight indeed, but Madsen managed to stay upright. So the result of the first race of the evening is Madsen out in front, 3 points for him. 2nd place is Andre Lebedevs, 2 points. Max Frick back in 3rd one. And Steve Worrell misses out in the first race of the evening. And tell you what, Chris, that was some opening lap of the Grand Prix here.
Well, yeah, the entry into turn 3 on lap 1 was just remarkable. I don't know where Lebedevs had come from. Wasn't even considering him. Here they come off the start, and Madsen's made a pretty good one. He's got the advantage being on the inside. Max Frick, bash, there he goes. Wallops Leon Madsen from the inside, and that unsettles Madsen as he rides towards the fence. And meanwhile, coming off gate 4, Lebedevs is watching all this going on the inside as Max Frick there clatters into Leon Madsen. Dodgems here in the very first race. And Lebedevs is watching this happen. He sees the gap open up, rides through the middle there, and well, it was a remarkable opening lap.
Yeah, we didn't quite see that movie made actually going into turn 3. That was really the crucial part. This is action-packed throughout, of course, a little bit earlier, but the move down the back straight into turn 3, how he didn't collect Madsen, truly extraordinary. Big smiles on the face of the Danish rider. Leon Madsen gets his night off to a terrific start. Of course, Nicky Pedersen, the coach of Denmark, in attendance, keeping an eye on his charges. 3 of them here, of course. Heat number 2, riders making their way round to the start. We'll see Dan Bewley for the first time this evening. Of course, a fabulous win last year. Really was a terrific first final. Won it. He's had 3 finals, and guess what? He's won all 3 of them. Truly remarkable. So off the inside gate in red is Kim Nielsen. Gate number 2 in blue is Matvej Janowski. Gate number 3 in white is Dan Bewley, and Martin Vasilik will go from the outside in yellow. Big race this. Kim Nielsen looked good yesterday. You liked the fact that he can turn the bike. It proved to be the case. And Kim on the inside, he got the draw number 5, which was a surprise with Robert Lambert taking number 12. I'm sure he's delighted to be there.
Yeah, I think he's absolutely delighted to have draw number 5. It's normally a very popular pick. Normally goes either first or second, so he would have been surprised to have been left with it. But yeah, just talking about Dan Bewley's record in these finals, 3 finals, 3 wins, I think that's just a reflection of his character. You know, he's laid back. Every race to him is just a race. He just goes out to try and win it.
Yeah. Knows how to win when he gets there. Can he do it back-to-back here this evening in Cardiff? Heat number 2 then. Tapes are up, we're underway. Nielsen's made a smashing start. Look at Martin Vasilik trying to hustle his bike around the outside. Bewley goes to the back. down the back straight for the first time. Martin Vasilik in second place. Suddenly Maciej Janowski into third place, but what an opening lap this is. Off the inside gate, Kim Nielsen made the final, of course, in Tetro, but coming on strong, it's Vasilik.
Yeah, Vasilik definitely seems to have the speed, but I tell you what, he rides around the outside of this early stage, he's going to leave himself very vulnerable from an attack from Janowski on the inside of him, and Janowski, if he can just move across, would be able to block anything that Vasilik's got. But at the moment, as Kim Nielsen, he is holding them up a little bit. He hasn't got the speed, but he's out front.
One lap to go then for Nielsen, who's really just hugged the white line throughout the 4 laps. Martin Vasilik, as you rightly say, coming under pressure from Maciej Janowski. Dan Bewley is out the back. You can throw a blanket over all 4. Nielsen hangs on. Smashing start from him. Inside gate wins the first 2 races of the evening. Could that be an interesting snap? Bewley disappointing in his first ride. Pointless there. Thought for a moment Janowski might get into second place, but he didn't. Kim Nielsen out in front, 3 points for him. Martin Vasilik back in second place, 2 points. Maciej Janowski 1 point in third, and Dan Bewley, last year's winner, misses out in heat number 2, but terrific effort. You sensed he was a bit nervous, he was a little bit tight on the bike, but he just about held it all together. Just committed to the inside run.
Yeah, did everything right. You know, as you say, he looked a little bit tense. He wasn't really flowing. The bike wasn't really driving forward, and he was pretty much holding the opposition up, which was unfortunate for Martin Vasilik, because the harder he tried to go around the outside, he just left himself vulnerable. And Janowski there on the run into the finish line, almost able to get past Vasilik. But no, Kim Nielsen will take a lot of confidence from that, winning his opening ride.
He's got gate number 1 again later on this evening. He's got nicely spaced rides as a consequence of his terrific qualifying time yesterday, so he'll be feeling a lot happier about that, a little bit more relaxed. Just getting that first race under your belt, get some points on the board is what it's all about, and you can build on that. 3 points, ideal. Bit of a debrief there. Kim's had a tough season in the Grand Prix, but nonetheless, a heat win here in the Principality is very valuable indeed. Building up for heat number 3, what a line-up it is. Ty Woofenden out here with Robert Lambert. Patrick Dudek, who finished 3rd in 2022. Hasn't had a great campaign, but nonetheless will need to have a really good run in, because there are 1 or 2 riders with their Grand Prix futures on the line now as we approach the completion of the series. And there's no doubt that Patrick is one of those, as is Janowski.
Yeah,
so the lineup
is just, it's just really tough on him this year.
Line up for heat number 3. Jason Doyle off the inside gate in red. Patrick Dudek out of gate number 2 in blue. Ty Woofenden out of gate number 3 in white, and off the outside in yellow is Robert Lambert. Lambert going along nicely, riding for Kings Lynn. Sheffield Tigers for Ty Woofenden now. Been really doing a great job for the injured Jack Holder. Made the final, of course, in Riga 3 weeks ago. Oh, long pause. Woofenden a little bit on up balance. Misses the start. The inside gate from Jason Doyle. He just roared in there. Lambert down the outside of Dudek. Here comes Woofenden around the outside as well. But Doyle away from the inside gate. Lambert hanging on. Keep your eyes on Woofenden. He's elected to go high and wide. Is there enough dirt? Can he produce enough speed? But Doyle out in front.
Tell you what, Ty Woofenden's really got that bike working and hooking up around the outside. Wouldn't be surprised if he could make his way to the front here. Jason Doyle seems to be spinning up, made himself very big on the opening lap in the first turn. Ty Woofenden, definitely the man with the speed out there.
Woofenden round the outside, Doyle under pressure, into the last lap. Doyle slams the door shut as they go into turns 1 and 2 for the last time. Woofenden committed to it. Doyle just about hanging on. Here we go, round the final corner, and Woofenden's going to steal the win of the run to the line. That's more like it. Crowd on their feet. Fabulous speedway here in the Principality in Cardiff. Heat number 3's got the crowd on their feet. Hasn't won here before. Finished second place 3 times, Chris. Yeah. Could it be his evening? Woofenden starts with a stunning ride in heat number 3. 3 points for him. Jason Doyle just pipped to the post there with 2 points for him for second place. Robert Lambert back in 3rd, and Patrick Dudek missing out in heat number 3, but already this meeting with this great racing surface is bringing the entertainment to us.
Heat 3 and the roof has already nearly come off this stadium when Ty Wolfenden makes his way from the back, doesn't make a good start. Jason Doyle off the inside gate makes a great start, makes himself very big in the first turn, just moves off the line. You can see there the dirt deflector rubbing on the front wheel there of Robert Lambert. It was a great move from Jason Doyle in the first turn to take up that much room, but on lap 2 it was that Ty Wolfenden just started to work the track out. He's tried a wide line. He said, my bike is working out here, I'm going to stick to this game plan. Just stays there every lap, last 3 laps, and just works it, gets past Robert Lambert, and then the run to the line, gets past Jason Doyle. Cracking opening ride for Ty Wolfenden.
Seen too much of that in recent seasons, but that was Wolfenden at his best. That's why he's won 3 World Championships. Number 4 will complete the first block of races. Riders are out on track doing a few practice starts. We'll see the championship leader for the first time. Still watching the graceful style of Ty Wolfenden winning a stunning ride. Let's hope he can keep it going. His team will certainly be hoping so. Johnny Jorgensen in the background there. Pete Adams is in there. The whole crew out here. And Wolfenden starting in fine style. It's been a focus of attention big time leading up to this meeting. A lot of media. His time has been short. He's been very busy indeed. Heat number 4. Jack Holder out for the first time as well. Great to see Jack Holder here. We weren't sure if he was going to make it, but he has. Wasn't going to miss this one. Missed Riga 3 weeks ago. Line up for heat number 4. Schmarzlik off the inside in the red helmet colour. Mikael Mikkelsen, gate number 2 in blue. Gate number 3 in white is Jack Holder, and Freddie Lingman, the fastest man in practice, off the outside in the yellow helmet colour. Freddie in second in the World Championship. He hasn't given up. Top 2 in the world going head-to-head here in their opening ride in heat number 4. Schmarzlik, not totally convincing in practice yesterday, but nonetheless, he's a racer. He's a Saturday man. Never really fails. Here we go then. He's got the inside gate. Takes her up. He's making it work, and he's got there. Holder's alongside him. Freddie Lingman with the cutback. Slicing through. It's gone down. Oh, that's not what Doc Holder wanted. No. That is the last thing he needed. Can you believe it? It always seems to happen, doesn't it? You come back from injury, and then something like that happens.
Yeah, he looked in discomfort.
I fear for Jack
yesterday.
Holder. He was struggling, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in discomfort yesterday. He was playing it down, of course. He's a competitor and doesn't want to show any frailties to his opposition, but there was no question yesterday was tough for him, and that was riding on his own against the clock, but this is not the start that that young man wanted.
Tight out there, coming out of the turn number 2 in the opening lap. Talk us through it.
Yeah, we're seeing it again, and he's made a decent start, got himself in the mix there coming from gate 3. Here, Freddie Lingman rides through. Wouldn't be surprised. We saw the yellow light come on for Freddie Lingman there, rides across the corner, takes his front wheel, takes him down. If the referee's lenient, he'd call all 4 back, but I think Freddie could go for that.
Wouldn't be surprised. That was quite a ruthless move, but it's World Championship Speedway. We've seen right from the first lap of the first race, riders really going at it. Surprising that all 4 stayed up in the first race, but they haven't here. Jack Holder's gone down. Now, does he give that left wrist a clout? He can't not. He has.
Yeah, a little bit. He'll be
feeling it, that's for sure.
You know what it is, please.
Referee hasn't made a decision yet. No exclusion light on. We're waiting to hear which way he's going to go. He'll be watching the pictures back.
One more replay, please, for the referee.
You can hear Phil Morris saying that he wants one more replay before he makes his decision.
You didn't bang your shoulder, didn't bang it or anything, no? A little bit.
Jack Holder in the wars once again. This is the move. There's no doubt that Freddie Lingman runs into him.
Yeah, he runs across the corner and does definitely take him down. I would say, without question, he is the reason for this race being stopped. It'll be interesting to see if there's any leniency from the referee.
I'm looking across at the referee. He's taking a good long look at the monitor to take his time before he makes. This is an interesting angle. Yeah, it clouts him, takes him down.
Yeah,
so
it does.
From that angle, you've got a fairly straightforward decision. Yeah, there it is. Freddie Lingman thrown out of his first ride of the evening.
Freddie's out.
No real surprise.
Right decision.
Freddie's
the
out.
right call. Freddie Lingman then will not be in the rerun. Jack Holder will be, although he'll be feeling very second-hand indeed after a heavy fall coming out of turn number 2 on the very first lap. not what he was looking for. He was hoping for a trouble-free run tonight. Smooth track, needs points, just wants to hang tough in the World Championship. Comes in here in 5th place, Jack Holder in 79. There will be a short pause as a consequence of the restart. We can get some reaction with Scott Nichols down in the pits. Ty Woofend is going to join Scotty now.
Yeah, Ty's joining me real quick as we've got the hold up there. Ty, it's not very often we see you get really animated after a race. What a first race. That obviously meant a lot to you.
Yeah, it was nice. It's a British GP, obviously a special one, so it's nice to get off with a win. I obviously didn't make a good start, but had good pace. So off gate 4 in the next one, and blue later, and then 2 gate 1s later on. So we'll see how we get on.
Oh, mate, it's a long way to go, but like you said, starting the night off with a race like that, it's always nice to do it from the tapes, but so much better to do it from behind, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fun, but like there's been a lot of GPs where I've started off bad and then finished good, and it's not been quite enough to get in the semis. So I'm all here for starting off good and keeping it like that for the rest of the night.
Well, let's keep it going. Go well. Thank you.
A stunning ride from Ty Woofend in heat number 3. Really was a special ride from him, the sort of rides we saw on a regular basis in the past.
Watch out! Guys, watch out! Bikes coming now.
Rerun for heat number 4. 2 minutes are on.
Just shows how good this track is today, Kelvin. There's racing lines already. I mean, we normally expect the one-off tracks to take a few races to settle down, but already we're seeing some great action.
Yeah, right from the get-go, we have
1 minute 20.
Holder making his way out. That's good to see. He's got an opportunity of a point here at very least. So Holder making his way round to the start for the rerun of heat number 4. Schmarzlik was away. Just 3 runners now. So for Holder, as I say, an opportunity to sort of settle himself down just with a point. Be looking for more if he can get away, but that certainly was not ideal, far from ideal for young Jack, coming back after he's had an operation. He's got a plate and screws in the wrist. Lack of movement, tough for him. Inside gate in red, Bartosz Schmarzlik. Gate number 2 in blue is Mikael Mikkelsen. Gate number 3 in white is Jack Holder, and Freddie Lindgren thrown out of the race as a consequence of the contact through that first turn. Bartosz Schmarzlik very relaxed. He's in our hotel. We were having a chat this morning. Really very relaxed indeed, very chatty. And why not? He's got a 22-point lead in the championship, going along very smoothly. It's going to have to slip up, you would suggest, if Freddie Lindgren is going to really make an impact. But his 4th World Championship is looking very likely in 5 years. Stunning performance again this year with 4 Grand Prix victories. Second time of asking then to complete the first block of races here this evening in the Principality. Tapes up, we're underway. Mikkelsen's made the start. Brilliant stuff out of gate number 2. Holder's there as well. Schmarzlik's missed out this time up the inside. Going to get the better of Holder. No, he's not. Holder's done well there to slam the door shut going into turn number 3. But Mikael Mikkelsen, brand spanking new Peter John's engine in the bike, roaring away out in front.
Yeah, Mikkelsen chasing the dirt already, feeling confident. And Jack Holder, well, if we wondered if there was going to be full commitment from him, we just saw that on the opening lap as he stopped the runner Schmarzlik, who now dives up the inside.
Oh! Brilliant stuff. Schmarzlik now hustling the bike. Holder not giving an inch. Neck and neck for second place. Schmarzlik now just about there. Can Holder repay the compliment? Going into the last lap. Not quite. Whoa, that was tight. Very tight. Mikkelsen's out in front, though. Down the back straight. Stunning ride from the Danish rider there in his opening ride. Had a disappointing campaign, but well, second time of asking. Heat number 4 belongs to Mikkelsen. Starts his nice up in fine style. Schmarzlik once again hustling through into second place. For Mikael Mikkelsen, just dropped the clutch and the bike absolutely leapt away from the tapes. Just what you want. And once again, the racing red hot here in Cardiff. Mikkelsen out in front, 3 points for him. Bartosz Schmarzlik back in second place, 2 points. Jack Holder picks up a point. And Freddie Lindgren was not in the room. There's the situation after the first block of races. 3 points for Madsen, Wooford and Mikkelsen and Kim Nielsen. Schmarzlik on 2, Vaslik, Doyle, Lebedes likewise, and then further down. Plenty of racing to come, but this Grand Prix has certainly started off in fine style. Don't go anywhere.
how about a spark of inspiration? Oops! Let's get this thing rolling. Ta-da! Try that on for size. Yeah! Level up in Forge of Empires. Play now for free at FOE.tv or download the app.
I wonder what you would do if you had the power to dream any dream you wanted to dream. You would, I suppose, start out by fulfilling all your wishes. Love affairs, banquets, wonderful journeys. And after you'd done that for some time, you'd forget that you were dreaming.
At Travel Bag, we're all about making out there easy. So that epic trip to Canada? Can do. New Zealand? No stress. A family trip to the Maldives? Dive in. And that Asian escape? Feel free. Travel Bag. Out there, and there, and there, even there. Made easy. Right now, out there's even easier with savings in our worldwide sale. Book today.
£7 at Asda could get you Nescafe Gold Blend coffee. But at Aldi, less than £7 gets you Gold Roast coffee, bread, ham, tomatoes, bananas, yoghurts and biscuits. That's their school lunchbox sorted, and you can wake up and smell the savings. Lovely. Aldi, officially which cheapest supermarket of the year?
This is Wise. 40 currencies, 150 countries, one account to take on the world. Take on Rio. Take on Rome. Take on work. And take on play. Take on this. And this. And spend. Send. Receive. Take on the world with Wise. Download the app today.
At Simply Business, we know finding business insurance can be a
pain in the glass. If you need any kind of glazing repair, you can get stuffed.
Perfect after a big night when you just want to
curl up and die. Pop into my salon if you're looking.
Rough around the edges. For all types of garden maintenance.
Over 900,000 businesses trust Simply Business to support with their insurance. Simply Business, you name it, we insure it.
Writing a will can give peace of mind that loved ones are looked after. It can also help others. Like Hitesh, who's worried about his chemo. Daisy, who's recovering from bone cancer. And Sue, who wants a bit of wig advice. Create your lasting legacy with a gift to Macmillan in your will, so we can do whatever it takes. Search Macmillan Legacy.
Born in the wild. Rare. Intoxicating. The soul of Sauvage. Elixir. Dior.
The business. Yeah, slightly surprised he hasn't managed to win a Grand Prix. He was in a Brazilian restaurant alongside us last night. Maybe all that meat is the reason he got off the start line in that heat number 4.
Yeah, it was a fantastic start. Great way to start his night. Just one semi-final so far this year, which is really surprising.
While we've got this grading break, we'll be able to get some reaction down in the pits. Scotty Nicholls is just going to bring us up to speed. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm down here in the pits, so normally I'd grab a chat with a few of the boys, but looking down the programme, all the key players, all the riders I want to speak to are in the next race, and I respect that they don't want to talk just before a race. They want to be in the zone and get focused, and a couple of the boys I've asked to have a chat, but respectfully, they're in that zone. They don't want to chat right now. It's a huge amount of pressure on this meeting, no more so than the guy whose pit space I'm in front of now, Freddie Lindgren, excluding that first race. So I'm going to try and grab a few of the others later on, but this is going to be a big race. A load of heat winners in this one, so back to you guys.
Thanks, Scott. You're absolutely right. 3 heat winners here. Freddie Lindgren coming out for his first laps, effectively, with no points on the board so far. But we've seen this from Freddie in the past, where he's really composed. The experience comes to the fore. It wouldn't be at all surprised for him to bring up a big performance in heat number 5. While we've got a few seconds, we can have a look at the gate success so far. 2 race victories from the inside gate, 1 from blue, 1 from white, and nothing from the outside so far. Pretty much what you would expect at this early stage after 4 races, but that will change as the evening goes on. Sense that the outside gate may come good a little later on with the dirt building up. We saw Woofenden being able to use it. Actually, that was very early on. I wasn't expecting. He was kind of trapped there, wasn't he? And then he just totally committed to it. He pulled it off.
Yeah, it was a move that, as you say, he was pretty much forced into, but he realised after doing 1 lap out there that the bike was working for him out there, and he got himself past Dudek very, very quickly, and then was chasing Robert Lambert down, and yeah, he just stuck to it. It was the right thing to do.
It was indeed. 3 points and a win, and a sensational win at that. Riders ready to go. Track grading is completed, just getting out of the way, and Phil Morris, the race director, will release riders very shortly. Freddie Lindgren been around a long time now, 37 years of age. Had long COVID for 2 years. This year he's healthy. Lying second in the World Championship on 100 points. Just had a couple of blips this year, otherwise he would have been a touch closer, you would suggest. We've seen Bartosz Marslik in recent Grand Prix have a bit of a blip in the qualifiers. We saw an exclusion in Riga. We saw him crash heavily in Melilla, but I think it's a test of a true champion, isn't it, when they're able to pick themselves up and then keep battling on and still make the final and win Grand Prix. Heat number 5 then. What a lineup it is. 3 heat victories to the names here with Madsen, Nielsen and Woofenden, with Lindgren no points, but goes from the inside gate. 2 race wins already from there. Ruts appearing immediately. As I say, as the evening goes on, that does become a challenge for riders. You've got to be awfully careful. You do not want to ground out because it just kills your run to the first corner. Lindgren on the inside in the red helmet colour. Leon Madsen alongside him in gate number 2 in blue. Gate number 3 in white. Kim Nielsen, what a ride from him first time out. But Ty Woofenden off the outside gate, looking to repeat the performance he did in heat number 3, but it's a freshly prepared track. Dirt might not be there, may need to make a special first corner.
Yeah, he would have been happy to be on the outside, but you're absolutely right. It's a freshly prepared track. It's going to be very difficult to make a clean run. He's going to have to make a pretty decent jump from there to be able to round everybody up.
Well, indeed. Racing's been fabulous already this evening. It's not always the case with the temporary tracks. It often takes sort of 6, 7, 8 heats for the track to really come to the riders, but here this evening, right from the first race, riders really giving it their all. There's been something about Cardiff this year, just building up to it. There's been a bit of an edge to it, riders really wanting to perform. 3 British riders back in British Speedway as well, and I think that's helped the crowd. Robert Lambert signing for Kings Lynn recently, and Ty Woofenden replacing Jack Holder for the Sheffield Tigers, riding superbly well for them as well. Heat number 5, here we go. Catch up. Superstar on the inside from Freddie Lindgren, he gets there. Kim Nielsen's there on the inside as well, but look at Woofenden once again. That bike is working a treat round the outside. Can he get the better of Freddie Lindgren coming out of turn 4? Not quite, but once again he's totally committed to it. Madsen's out the back. Woofenden though, not quite as much grip there as there was in his previous ride when he was out in heat number 3, but he's there. Freddie Lindgren and Ty Woofenden, they know themselves so very well when they rode together, of course, for the Wolverhampton Wolves. Lindgren out in front, responding brilliantly.
Ty Woofenden, he tried that outside run for the first couple of laps, then we saw him look across his shoulder at Kim Nielsen and said, okay, I may have to settle for 2 points here. Right thing to do, but Freddie Lindgren responding to the pressure. 12 points up for grabs for him and his 4 rides, and he started with 3 here. Great for him.
Through the last corner then, Freddie Lindgren responding brilliantly after being thrown out of his first ride in heat number 4. Back-to-back heats for him, and he picks up a fine win. Heat number 5 belongs to Fast Freddie. Woofenden tried hard around the outside, you're spot on. Woofenden assessed it after 2 laps and then realised he wasn't going to make the impact he wanted. Shot back to the inside. Freddie Lindgren out in front, 3 points for him. Ty Woofenden back in second place. 2 points, Kim Nielsen picks up another point, going along nicely onto 4. Leon Madsen missing out in hit number 5. pretty much straightforward for Freddie Lingman, but still the pressure was on him, and he kept nicely composed.
Yeah, he did. And I tell you what, if it wasn't for the track grade, Ty Wolfenden undoubtedly would have had the speed on this first turn to round up Freddie Lingman. He gets the better of Kim Nielsen. See Kim there, he's got his front wheel right over the curb. That curb drops down because the track is obviously higher than the ground around it, and can catch you out that, but he got away with it. And Freddie Lingman, well, he's responded well. He was under pressure, getting excluded in his first ride. That's exactly what he needed.
A little bit nicely. He'll be feeling a lot happier now. Got another gate one to come in his third ride. Looking to take full advantage of that. John O'Burke's alongside of him there. British team in the pits working well. Heat number 6. Riders making their way forward. Dan Bewley missed out his first ride, looking to make amends here from the outside. Jason Doyle just pipped to the post by a stunning ride from Ty Wolfenden, but nonetheless 2 points is very useful. Inside gate, Mikkel Mikkelsen, sensational first time out. Red helmet colour for him. Jason Doyle, gate 2 in blue, gate 3 in white is Stevie Worrell. Off the outside is Dan Bewley. Now Steve Worrell didn't score in his first race in heat number 1, and all of a sudden, look at the lineup he's got. Grand Prix, welcome to Grand Prix, Stevie.
Doesn't get any easier.
No, it does not.
Mikkelsen will be looking to take advantage of that inside gate. Got the better of Smarslik in his opening ride. That was a confidence-boosting opening ride for him.
Yeah, undoubtedly. He'll be feeling very happy indeed. Stevie Worrell possibly off the worst gate here. Tough start to the night. On his backside initially, and then failed to score first time out. I just sense if he can make starts. He rides for the Wolverhampton Wolves. He's a busy guy. He rides in the Championship as well in Britain. Plus, he's been riding for Daugavpils in Poland, in the Polish League. He's been a busy chap. He's been flat out on his lead up to this Grand Prix. Hardly had a day off since the British Championship 3 weeks ago. Heat number 6. Riders settling down. Clark Marshall not happy with Jason Doyle, but he is now. So here we go. Tapes up, long pause. Nicholson's made it. That bike working a treat. Here comes Bewley, though. Look at Bewley round the outside. Doyle up the inside of Mickelson. No room at all. Wow, how did he force his way through there? Hard charging move, but Bewley's responded brilliantly here. Here comes Mickelson back into the picture. Time going in a turn. Number 1 for the second time of asking, but Bewley's in the front and is flying.
Bewley took full advantage there of Doyle and Mickelson tripping over each other in the first turn. It was a great move from Jason Doyle to sneak around the inside, but Bewley carrying so much speed, we say it so often. He's just flowing with the bike. Look at the lead he's got already.
Flying out in front, Dan Bewley looking majestic. Doyle hanging on in second place. Worrell getting closer in 4th, but still out of the points. But there's only one winner here. Dan Bewley, right from the get-go here, has showed a great turn of speed. Picks up his first win of the night. British fans on their feet. Loving that. Last year's winner. Disappointing opening ride, but once again, hasn't allowed it to rattle him. Just produces a stunning turn and comes through in flying colours. Jason Doyle with a solid start to the evening as well, with 2 second places. Mickelson, that was a tough race. No racing room whatsoever. The result then of heat number 6. Bewley out in front, 3 points. Doyle back in second place, 2 for him. 1 place, 1 point for Mikkel Mikkelsen. Stevie Worrell remaining pointless after a couple of outings. Tough speedway, really is. But that man rose to the occasion. Great way to bounce back. Similar to Freddie, isn't it?
Absolutely exactly the same. Put himself under pressure. Now he knows he needs the result. Makes a decent start from the outside. There he goes, high and wide. Jason Doyle's made a great cutback. No room there at all. Got half the bike over that curb. Clatters into the side there. Mickelson had to lift his leg, get out of the way. But in the meantime, Dan Bewley has just generated all that speed around the first turn. You can see there, Jason tough on Mickelson. And Mickelson, after making a decent start, must have wondered what was going on in that first turn. But that race, all about Bewley and the speed that he was carrying there.
It was indeed. Typical Jason Doyle ride. Nothing left on the table whatsoever. Dan Bewley on the score chart now with 3 points, with 3 races to come to make the semi-finals. That'll be a minimum target for him this evening, I would suggest. But rides like that could go all the way through to the final once again. Riders making their way round to the start for heat number 7. Matsej Janowski just roaring around a little bit late. Bartosz Smarslik out here as well. 3 Polish riders and an Australian in heat number 7. Max Frick just spoiling the Polish party somewhat off the outside. Well, he might do if he wins the race, of course. Dudek looking to respond. Smarslik with a 2nd place first time out. Maciej Janowski hasn't had a great campaign. Needs a big performance here this evening. Dudek off for the inside in red. Gate number 2 in blue is Bartosz Smarslik. Maciej Janowski, gate number 3 in white. And Max Frick will go from the outside in yellow. Frick is an enigma for me. Super rider, silky smooth, wins Grand Prix, then can go missing. That inconsistency, you said it in the rider's presentation, needs to somehow come to terms with that, needs to be more consistent.
Yeah, he's in the right place for this race. The track now, since the track grade, has developed a dirt line, so gate 4 could well be the place to be right now.
Heat number 7, the green light is on. Away we go. Dudek's up there. Frick's made a great start. He's got there. Brilliant stuff from the Australian. Dudek hustling it through into 2nd place with Janowski now getting around the outside of Smarslik. Smarslik not getting off the start so far this evening. Oh, it's gone to the back with Janowski now coming on strong, but Frick, what a start from gate number 4. You said it. You thought it might work. It's worked a treat. Smarslik just about hanging on to 3rd.
Well, Smarslik really tough move there on Janowski. He's settled down into 3rd place. He's going to want more than that. He's making the bike work up the inside. He doesn't feel confident that he's got the speed to move out. But meanwhile, Max Frick looking good up front.
To the last lap, Max Frick off the outside, looking terrific out in front here. Didn't have a great qualifying yesterday, but no doubt after just 1 point in his first ride, he's going to pick up big 3 points here. Dudek looking much more like it. Bartosz Smarslik off the pace. Don't say that very often. With a 2nd and a 3rd, and having to work very hard for those points so far. 3 points for the championship leader, but a massive 3 points for Max Frick. Moving along nicely now. 4 points to his name after a couple of outings. 3 points for Frick out in front. Dudek coming through in 2nd place, 2 points. Bartosz Smarslik back in 3rd, 1, and Maciej Janowski having to settle for 4th place there with a tremendous battle between himself and his compatriot Bartosz Smarslik. But you said that the outside line could work, and it duly did for Max Frick.
Yeah, when you've got a guy of the quality of Max Frick, we know he can make starts. The track had developed enough dirt line out there for him to make it work, and he made a very good jump as well. Almost got across all 3 of the Polish riders there, then just relied on that little bit of extra grip to pull him round the corner. But I tell you what, Bartosz Smarslik, how hard did he have to work for that solitary point? Yeah. He's not having it his all way tonight. Had to be really hard here on Janowski. Runs him in hard there. Yeah. And Janowski has to run up to the fence. Even then, Janowski was putting him under pressure on the final lap.
Yeah, Smarslik's bike setup isn't right. He's just getting too much wheel spin, not enough forward momentum. They'll have to do some soul searching, you would suggest, if he wants to get back to the front.
What advice were you giving him at breakfast this morning, Kelvin?
Don't rev it so hard. Don't rev it so hard on the start. It's not working, is it?
No, he needs to get on the rev limiter, I would suggest. Yeah, just taking a look again at the start there, and Smarslik, gate 2. Bike seems to jump and then spin. I would suggest he's suffering from wheel spin out there.
He is. I would agree with that. We're here, there's a warning for Janowski there. That's why we saw the start replay a couple of times. He'll carry that throughout the remainder of the evening. Does something similar. We saw it in Riga with Ty Woofenden. You will then be excluded, so you're going to have to behave yourself on the start line. Heat number 8 will see the completion of a 2nd block of heats. Everybody will have had 2 rides each. Robert Lambert out for the 2nd time here as well. Inside gate is Andrei Lebedev's hard-charging ride for him first time out. Gate number 2 in blue is Martin Vasilik. Gate number 3 in white is Robert Lambert, and Jack Holder off the outside in yellow. Andrei Lebedev's is a rider not to be messed with. He's a strong-looking chap, there's no question about that, and he doesn't mind putting himself about. He's on the verge of becoming a Grand Prix rider. He's knocking on the door, and this is invaluable experience for him. Martin Vasilik, who sits in 3rd in the World Championship, going along very nicely this year. He's made a great start here as well. Vasilik's made a smashing start, but Holder, look at that from Jack Holder. That's impressive stuff from the Australian. Comes round the outside, hits the front down the back straight. Vasilik hanging on there in 2nd place. Lambert electing to go high and wide with Lebedevs at the back. But Jack Holder, defying the pain barrier, out in front, hit the deck first time out, roaring away in front.
Yeah, fair play to Jack Holder. We know he's in discomfort, but he's going out there and doing the job and getting stuck in and riding very, very well. Robert Lambert really needs more than this. Just a third place in his opening ride. He's chasing Martin Vachelek. Just doesn't seem to be able to generate enough speed.
But Jack Holder he's looking terrific. Smashing start from the outside gate beginning to work now. Martin Vachelek up the inside, closing in. It's tight going down the back straight for the last time, but Holder's got this. Slams the door shut. What a ride from Jack Holder. That is pretty impressive. Beware the injured Speedway rider. He's in pain, can hardly move his left wrist, but he's winning races at the very highest level. Holder's had a fabulous season.
Yeah, he's charging like the wounded bull, isn't he?
He is indeed. Brilliant. Jack Holder comes through in flying colours there, second time out. 3 points for him. Martin Vachelek back in second place, rock solid for Martin. 2 points for him. Robert Lambert back in third place, 1 point. And Lebedevs misses out in heat number 8. But for Jack Holder now, onto 4 points. Very nice indeed. That's just what the doctor ordered. Ty Woofenden out in front on 5 points after 2 heats. Mikkelsen, Holder, Frick, Nielsen, Martin Vachelek, Jason Doyle all on 4 points. Very tight in the top 8 there for the Grand Prix of Great Britain here in Cardiff.
World Superbike, the most exciting motorsport championship in the world, is coming back to Portugal. Watch the fiercest superbike racing in the world at Autodromo International do Algarve, with races on Saturday and Sunday. Then join in the celebrations at the legendary Paddock Show. Live the full World SBK experience at the Autodromo International do Algarve. Get your tickets now. Children under 8 go free.
Oh, how about a spark of inspiration? Oops! Let's get this thing rolling. Ta-da! Try that on for size. Yeah! Level up in Forge of Empires. Play now for free at FOE.tv or download the app.
The Bennett's British Superbike Championship heads to Cheshire's Alton Park on the 15th to the 17th of September as the title showdown intensifies. Top riders Tommy Bridewell, Glenn Irwin, Josh Brooks and more will be gunning for victories, with 1 race on Saturday and 2 on Sunday alongside a busy support programme. Weekend tickets are just £45 online in advance with free entry for under 13s. Book now at altonpark.co.uk.
With HelloFresh meal kits, you get tried and tested recipes, step-by-step instructions, and fresh quality ingredients, perfectly pre-portioned for you and delivered to your door. Everything you need to cook delicious dinners. Order now at hellofresh.co.uk. Dinner solved.
The stunning snow leopard is ruthlessly hunted by poachers. We urgently need you to help protect her by adopting a snow leopard with WWF. We'll send you an exciting adoption pack and you'll see how you're helping us with our vital work. And with a cuddly toy leopard, it makes a great gift. Adoption costs just £3 a month. So please call 0800 038 1033 or search WWF Snow Leopard today. Thank you.
Hey, Doc, what can a Newman Fear Nothing blood test really test?
Kidney, liver, thyroid, heart, and more.
So it can know a man's body, but can it know his mind? No. Interesting. Order your Fear Nothing blood test at Newman.com.
Noah, let's go.
The all-new Kona, Live Unlimited, is the dawn of a new Hyundai.